Hi, I'm Nick Trygstad and I'm principal cello of the Hallé, and next week I'm going to be performing for the first time Don Quixote by Richard Strauss. I think cellists often put Don Quixote into the same category as the concertos, but it's really a very different piece. Of course, the solo cello part is perhaps the most featured, that and the solo viola part for Sancho Panza. But it really is one of Strauss's orchestral tone poems, and it has featured roles for so many instruments, bass clarinet, solo violin, oboe, tuba, and so it's a really interesting prospect to perform for the first time. Because I've had the opportunity to perform concertos in the past, and I know the mindset that it takes to go into it, whereas this is going to be a much more collaborative event with Sir Mark Elder, as we try to sort of shape the piece together with all the soloists who are in the orchestra. The piece is actually a set of variations. You don't need to know the plot of the piece to enjoy it. It makes sense purely on a instrumental, a musical level. It makes sense. But Strauss very cleverly depicts all these various scenes. So the piece starts with a wonderful introduction, which is almost like a descent into madness. The piece starts so incredibly sweetly, and as we get through the introduction, it becomes more dissonant and kind of mad. And then there's this great build-up and silence, and then the principal cello comes in with the theme of Don Quixote, which is slightly crazy, and I think the word would be quixotic. I think Don Quixote is really unique as a piece because when you learn a concerto or another solo piece, we try to create a character for the music, a sort of feeling, but never has there been so direct and literal a character to portray. So I'm really looking forward to the experience of performing it, and I think it's going to be the closest that I will come to being an actor, with a character you can visualize who's been portrayed down the years, a literal scenario of events to go through, and I think it's going to be incredibly exciting to dive into that character, and hopefully it won't be Nick Trygstad on stage doing that performance. Hopefully it will be Don Quixote, and I wonder if that will enable me to find new sounds and new colors, because it's not going to actually be me when I go on. I can't perform in a suit of armor, but perhaps I might conjure up a wilder costume than the traditional tails and white tie. I'm absolutely thrilled to be given the opportunity to play this piece. It's a piece I've known since I was a teenager, and occasionally we have to learn excerpts of it when we audition for orchestras and in competitions, and to have the opportunity to put it together and perform it has been a life dream. So yeah, I hope it is as enjoyable for everyone else as it will be for me. Yeah, you just need to know the whole score. It's so amazing.